in terms of bringing new ideas to the table, why has it been difficult to launch new shows the past couple of years?
I asked Fleiss, we talked about the batting average. What's the ratio of hits and misses does it take to be considered great? And Fleiss said basically 1 out of 10.
Right.
And I talked to a few execs, daytime and primetime, before doing that, who all said the same thing, which is one great hit. If you're Mark Burnett and if you have a Big Brother, if you have dancing, you're golden because you could have another one. And that's what gets you back in the door. And one of the things that also came up on that panel was fear. The fear, as you guys were saying, of taking that chance. But all of the shows mentioned were great. Who would ever think watching a bunch of idiots dance, ballroom dancing?
I thought you were going to say a bunch of idiots on an island.
Yeah.
How you were going to fit it in?
I thought you were going to say a bunch of fat idiots. So there you go.
Yeah, a bunch of people ballroom dancing. When I first heard it, and I remember being on a plane.
When I first heard it too.
I actually had the same reaction. I said, no way.
And you know what? I was actually on a flight home with a guy from your network who said, we've got this show, Dancing with the Stars, and I'm telling you, it's going to take a little bite out of your show. And I thought, ballroom dancing? I doubt it. And same with Biggest Loser. If you would have said 10 years ago there's going to be a show with enormously overweight people and you're going to be crying every hour as they lose from 400 pounds to 220, all those guys took chances. And it's got like Darnell, say what you want about Mike. He's open to the taking a chance idea.
He also has more bats than almost anybody, more at-bats than anyone, and that's what makes him so great. He's like that mad scientist, He's like the smartest mad scientist you ever met.
Not afraid.
No.
Right.
No.
I mean, I think also in terms of why, cable is obviously making a dent in the business, and people are watching, the internet, and the way people are watching, their entertainment it's splintering, and so in the last couple of years, I think they were saying something like for Gossip Girl, like a large percentage of the audience doesn't even watch it on television, which obviously is the younger demographic, but it's pretty terrifying that it's moved that quickly. So it's definitely taking, when network is getting numbers sometimes that are cable numbers, and the economics of it are, making it harder, I think, to take risks. So
I just did a pilot with CBS, which takes somebody who's dying, and it's an inspirational show about how to get the most out of your life, told through the eyes of somebody who's been told they're dying and now realizes, wow, I only have a limited amount of time left. This is what matters. And we send them on these adventures. And I think the only reason CBS said yes was that I partnered with Mark. And they thought, okay, this is either somebody we don't want to say no to or we can take a chance on. But I know the entire time we were doing the show, they were petrified of the idea of doing this subject matter, and we just tested it, and it tested extremely well. And now everybody's like, okay, you know what? Maybe this will work. But somebody's got to say yes to these ideas, and it feels like the time right now is the time, because as Mark said at that HRTS, this everybody kind of staying home, kind of what you were saying, Jane, that there's this opportunity.
Yeah. And it's so easy to naysay. I remember when I read that you were doing that show, and I went, ooh, that's going to be a tough one to pull off. The potential is the real pull of the heartstrings, like an Extreme Makeover Home Edition. But the naysayers, I always think of when Daniel Craig was first announced as James Bond. And that poor guy must have had cojones of steel to have to get through the initial press. Now everybody's falling all over themselves. Yeah. They love him. But the naysayers, it's a knee-jerk response.
Yeah.
And there are so many of them lined up to say that's a stupid idea, or it's sick, or it's whatever. And you have to be able to walk through that with a concept you believe in.
Well, look at American Idol. Broke its own rule. One of the things, and I'm sure you guys follow this same thing, you have certain rules on your show. You can't do this, you can't. On Survivor, that would be people vote, the contestants vote each other out. On Idol, the number one rule on Idol is the audience decides who wins. Right. And what does Idol do? They break the rule and decide, unless we decide to save somebody. And they do it, and not only does it work, they get a standing ovation. I was talking to Seacrest about it, and I was talking to Randy about it, and they were talking about, oh yeah, we knew we were going to make the drama more and milk it a little more. So those popular shows that aren't afraid to take chances also extend their brand by continuing to slightly reinvent it.
American Idol's like the Death Star. You know what I mean? Like when it comes on, it just approaches over television and just hovers there as we all stand in the darkness, just trying to hold on. You know what I mean?
It's the one show we pray we don't get put up against.
They'll
we
run
are.
over, you know, when they accidentally ran over on Tuesday nights a couple times into our results show on Dancing with the Stars. I'm going, but you can see our minute by minutes on Dancing with the Stars the moment they go off the air, go, whoop, you know. But they, you know, accidentally.
No, yeah, they're programmed for that
Yeah, of
5
course.
minutes.
First in Hollywood.